I read a book. A philosopher who embraced Islam said, "Whenever I was beset by doubts, I would look at the Book of Creations, the letters of which spoke of miracles and ultimate skill. Then my faith would not only return to normal, but it would increase as well." That's why he understood the meaning of Islam and faith, and accepted Islam. Now he know God, the fear of God, and his punishments, and in the other hand an atheist went to the atmosphere of the earth, and informed that he doesn't see the God. Idiot. He never know that Allah's throne is 50,000 years far away from him.
I have a duty to tell other scientists what I discover. And I have discovered certain remarkable scientific things in Quran and Hadith. So I think it's my duty to tell them that they should read these books, because they would find their scientific imagination stimulated. They would find new experiments, possibilities of scientific research would arise in their minds. So we Muslims should shine the lights of Islam on the materialistic scientific world, and using those rigorous methods of science which led to that materialism, reintegrate our brothers in that world with a little deeper truth about the universe in which they find themselves and about their own natures.
We have discussed about the cosmos before. Let us discuss about the earth after it's formed. Many people said Quran mentioned that earth is flat. They're liars. They don't read Quran. They just spread the false description of Quran, while Quran mentioned that earth is oval. Allah sent salt to the earth. Later the salt melted into water, and after that he spread the earth. He extracted from it its water and its pasture. He sends down from the sky rain, and valleys flow according to their capacity. And torrent carries a rising foam, and from that which they heat in the fire, desiring adornments and utensils, is a foam like it. Thus Allah presents truth and falsehood. As for foam it vanishes, being cast off, but as for that which benefits the people, it remains on the earth. Thus does Allah present example. Then meteors fell, which contains iron, and we sent down iron, wherein is great military might and benefits for the people, and so that may make evident those who support him and his messengers unseen. Indeed Allah is powerful and exalted in might. Scientists says that no one knows exactly how life emerged. God said, "Have those who disbelieve not considered that the heavens and the earth were a joined entity, and we separated them, and made from water every living thing? Then will they not believe?" Everyone agrees that life created from the water, so it is connected to Darwin's evolution theory. But also there are thousands of possibilities and theories for creation of life, that how God created living things from the water. It is a mystery. It is indescribable. There are so many scientists who don't believe in this theory. So who we are, we cannot rely on theories. This belief can lead you to a major sin. Let not discuss on creation of life, let it a mystery. Due to the heat beneath the ocean, the earth crust broken into two vast plates. It causes the movements beneath the earth. These early events births the lands, first Columbia and then Rodinia. Even after the Columbia and Rodinia, life didn't exist. Volcanoes bringing carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. And then years and years later, the earth became a snowball. It was the Great Ice Age. Then, years later, climate changes. Due to the heat beneath the earth, the volcanoes beneath the ice emit greenhouse gas spread into the air. Because of this, the frozen world started melting. Again years later, still life didn't exist yet. Because of the sun's radiation. It was deadly. Then years later, oxygen mixed with sun's radiation, the oxygen turned into ozone gas. This gas became a shield of the earth. Allah said, "And we have made the sky a roof, safe and well guarded, yet they turn away its signs. Then water evaporates from the oceans and cools to form clouds. The clouds move inland where they rise and fall as rain," Allah said, "and it is He who sends the winds as good tidings before His mercy until, when they have carried heavy rain clouds, we drive them to a dead land and we send down rain therein, and bring forth thereby of all fruits. Thus will we bring forth the dead, perhaps you may be reminded. And rivers on the land of Gondwana," Allah said. "Do you not see that Allah sends down rain from the sky, and makes it flow as springs and rivers in the earth, then produces thereby crops of varying colors. Then they dry and you see them turn yellow, then He makes them debris. Indeed in that is a reminder for those of understanding. And of signs is that He shows you the lightning fear as aspiration, and sends down rain from the sky, by which He brings to life the earth, after its lifelessness. Indeed in that are signs for a people who use reason." Then plants started growing, and also previously humans did not know that plants to have male and female gender distinctions. And now modern botany states that every plant has a male and female gender. Even also fruits have male and female organs, God said, "and has sent down water from the sky, with have we produced diverse pairs of plants, each separate from the others, and it is He who spread the earth, and placed therein firmly set mountains, and rivers. And from all of the fruits He made therein to mates. He causes the night to cover the day, indeed in that are signs for a people who give thought. And of all things we created to mates, perhaps you will remember." Then there was a time when insects were giant monsters. The Triassic period. Permian-Triassic period destroyed because of a volcanic eruption. Then it was only one continent in the entire world. The America, Europe, Africa and India were joined in one continent, called Pangaea. After the extinction of Permian creatures, there were new creatures evolved. It was Jurassic period. The wildest period of history. Then again, asteroids destroyed most of the dinosaurs and the other species. God said, "Then do they not look at what is before them, and what is behind them of the heaven and earth? If we should will, we could cause the earth to swallow them, or let fall upon them fragments from the sky. Indeed in that is a sign for every servant turning back." Then Earth's crust shakes again. It breaks the Pangea apart, South America and Africa splits. And Indian subcontinent slowly joined with Tibetan plateau. This mass collision births the Himalayas. World's highest mountain called Everest. These mountains holds the Indian subcontinent with Tibetan plateau. God said, "Have we not made the earth as wide expanse? And the mountains as pegs, and we have set on the earth mountains standing firm, lest it should shake with them." These varying colors of mountains from entire world holds each continents to another, from Denali in Alaska to Caledonian Mountains in Europe. The Andes holds North America with South America. The Atlas Mountains holds Africa with Europe, and so on. God said, "Do you not see that Allah sends down rain from the sky, and produce thereby fruits of varying colors, and in the mountains are tracks, white and red of varying shades and some extremely black. And there are two poles in earth where sun rays falls less, one in north and other one in south, and we call them Arctic and Antarctic. Let's go into the oceans," Allah said, "or like darkness within an unfathomable sea which is covered by waves, upon which are waves, over which are clouds, darkness, some of them upon others. When one puts out his hand therein, he can hardly see it. And he to whom Allah has not granted light, for him there is no light." Scientists now discussing about this verse, that without the modern equipments, it was impossible to explain this phenomenon in so much details. Thus the information must have come from a supernatural source. And also God give a sign about the barrier of fresh and salt water. God said, "He has let free the bodies of flowing water, meeting together. Between them is barrier, which they do not transgress. It is He who has let free the two bodies of flowing water, one palatable and sweet, and the other salty and bitter. Yet has He made a barrier between them, and partition that is forbidden to be passed." After the extinction of the dinosaurs, new generation conquered the earth. It was the last ice age, when creatures lived like feathered dinosaurs, mammoths, saber-tooths and so on. After the climate change again, they extinct in the heat of the earth, because of their warm bodies. Then God created new species, which can live with humans, or humans can live with them. Allah has created every creature from water, and of them are those that on their bellies, and of them are those that walk on two legs, and of them are those that walk on four. God creates what He wills. Indeed, the God is over all things competent. Do they not see that birds controlled in the atmosphere of the sky? None holds them up except Allah. Indeed, in that are signs for a people who believe. Do they not see the birds above them with wings outspread, and sometimes folded in? None holds them except the most merciful. Indeed, He is of all things seeing. And within the land are neighboring plots and gardens of grapevines, and crops and palm trees, growing several from a root or otherwise, watered with one water. But we make some of them exceed others in fruit. Indeed, in that are signs for a people who reason. It is He who made for you from the green tree fire, and then from it you ignite. And who created the species, all of them, and has made for you ships and animals those which you mount. And it is He who subjected the sea for you to eat from it tender meat, and to extract from it ornaments which you wear. And you see the ships plowing through it, and that you may seek of His bounty. And perhaps you will be grateful, and indeed, for you in grazing livestock is a lesson. We give you drink from what is in their bellies, between excretion and blood pure milk, palatable to drinkers, and indeed, for you in livestock is a lesson. We give you drink from that which is in their bellies, and for you in them are numerous benefits, and from them you eat. And your Lord inspired to the bee, take for yourself among the mountains houses and among the trees, and that which they construct. Then eat from all the fruits and follow the ways of your Lord laid down. There emerges from their bellies a drink, varying in colors, in which there is healing for people. Indeed, in that is a sign for people who give thought. As we know now that animals, birds and even insects live in communities. Research has shown that they organize and live and work together, God said, and there is no creature on the earth or bird that flies with its wings except that they are communities like you. We have not neglected in the register a thing, then unto their Lord, they will be gathered. Quran is revealed to guide people. It is not a science book which tells every single detail such bacterias or particles and so on. It gives us signs, God said. And no sign comes to them from the signs of their Lord, except that they turn away therefrom. God has given us so many signs, still they ignored them and stuck on one theory. While there are millions of possibilities and theories can be made, God has set a seal upon their hearts and upon their hearing. And over their vision is a veil, and for them is a great punishment. God says more, and if you obey most of those upon the earth, they will mislead you from the way of Allah. They follow not except assumption, and they are not but falsifying. O mankind, worship your Lord, who created you and those before you, that you may righteous. Then is he who creates like one who does not create. So will you not be reminded, is not he who created the heavens and earth able to create the likes of them? Yes, and he is the knowing creator. His command is only when he intends a thing that he says to it, be, and it is. Exalted is he who created all pairs from what the earth grows, and from themselves and from that which they do not know.
Scientists in Mexico pulling back the curtain on what they believe are aliens.
As we told you before about Mexican discovery in Peru, we don't know sure about its truthness. But it's a fact that there are other creatures exists, but we don't know anything about them. There are so many creatures beneath the earth and the oceans we don't know about. They are hidden from us, God said, and he created the horses, mules and donkeys for you to ride and as an adornment. And he also creates something that which you yet do not know. And thus did we show Abraham the realm of heavens and the earth, that he would be among the certain. To explain this verse, Imam Shawkani said that it means Allah has shown the realms from the throne of Allah through heavens to the last point of the earth. It could be about the surface or even inside of it. God said, and when the word befalls them, we will bring forth for them a creature from the earth. Now question is, where will this unknown creature come from the earth? This is a high possibility that it would come from mysterious place beneath the earth. Maybe hollow earth doesn't look like what the monster verse has shown. It was a fantasy, but maybe a specific place where they live actually like insects. Big insects or reptiles. You might know that insects and reptiles are the actual monsters. Just their sizes saved us. Ibn Kasir said, Allah created his throne first. The throne which is the ceiling of all created things, including everything that lies beneath the earth, and that exists between earth and the throne. God said, to him belongs what is in the heavens and what is on the earth, and what is between them, and what is under the soil.
This is where life as we know it begins. Brains in formation of only a few milligrams. It's not possible to determine any sign of intelligence yet.
If Darwinian theory is such a poor theory, why don't more scientists reject it?
There are two reasons why more scientists don't reject it. One is that if they did, they would lose all of their prestige within science. They would never get another research grant. And if they didn't have academic tenure, they'd get fired. The second reason, the great problem is that if Darwinism isn't true, science doesn't know what is true, rather than to say, well, we just don't know what it is, because then they don't have any place to start proposing experiments, drafting proposals for research grants, and so on.
Ashhadu an la ilaha illa Allah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasul Allah. Been exceedingly interested to see the close correspondence between statements in the Islamic scriptures made 1400 years ago and some of the discoveries of our modern scientific era.
It has been a great pleasure for me to help clarify statements in the Quran about human development, because almost all of this knowledge was not discovered until many centuries later.
The Quran describes not only the development of external forms, but emphasizes also the internal stages. In a relatively few ayah is contained a rather comprehensive description of human development from the time of commingling of the gametes through organogenesis.
That there exist layers in the Quran shown centuries later to be valid would support knowledge in the Quran having been derived from God.
Someone, a very good person, could be a mere chance. There are too many accuracies. I'm very much impressed by finding true astronomical facts in Quran.
What's the probability of that come to being by itself? He again and again affirms the existence of Allah, I believe.
In the year 2000, I was at an international meeting in Tokyo to look for life and understand if there's liquid water on this continent.
Many of these questions and thinking where Muhammad came from, he was after all a Bedouin. I think it is almost impossible that he could have known about things like the common origin of the universe, because scientists have only found out within the last few years, with very complicated and advanced technological methods, that this is the case. Somebody who did not know something about nuclear physics 1400 years ago could not, I think, be in a position to find out from his own mind, for instance, that the earth and the heavens had the same origin, or many other of the questions that we have discussed here.
There is perhaps no better illustrations of the close links between Islam and science.
Glaciers are far from passive lumps of ice on our landscape. They are constantly flowing and cracking, growing and melting, even in a stable climate. Because right now the question is not if sea level is rising. The question is by how much and how soon.
And there was also something in the earth, before humans, which science do not approved. The jinns.